ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Subscribe for more things.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Revoltech action figure review on the figure complex Amazing Yamaguchi Marvel's Carnage. If you're trying to pick up this figure, you can do so right now at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
As always, I love the packaging for these Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi figures. This is really awesome that we have the cover of Amazing Spider-Man 362. I still have that comic. Very cool. And then we even have a little sneak peek at Venom right there. And then on the side, you can see we get some images of Carnage. It says, "This is the family feud you wanted, Daddy-O." And then, "But I'm nastier." And then, "Come on in, gang. Be it either." I can't really read all that. And then on the back right here, we get a couple more speech bubbles. And then a ton of accessories right over there. Ooh. And then we get another image of Carnage right there on that side. And then we get that 362. Not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Carnage out of the packaging. And this thing is quite spectacular. Amazing Yamaguchi, you slay me. I'm just a very pleased collector. This figure has pretty much everything I'd like in a Carnage figure. I'm very happy with this. I think I have every single port filled with an accessory right here. He has tons of ports on his body, and I think I have every single one filled in with a tendril, which looks really cool. And aside from all the tendrils, there's tons of other accessories as well. So let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll get a closer look at Carnage. Yeah, just really quick, wanted to throw it out there that we have more Legendary Collector t-shirts available, but in limited supply. If you want to collect with pride and support one of your favorite YouTubers, go ahead and check out the Legendary Collector t-shirt at ShartimusPrime.net. And this figure does come with a little instruction sheet right here, so I'm glad that we have that. That is cool. And then you can see that we get this stand that we've seen with all the other Amazing Yamaguchi pieces, you know, so nothing really new over here. You can go ahead and port this on. You can tighten or loosen these joints. You get a hinge, swivel, hinge right here. We also get the clamp. So we get a ridiculous amount of accessories with this figure. However, we are missing one. There's one accessory that this figure needs, and it's these right here. I'm just going to get this big gripe out of the way. Getting these pegs right here out of the wrist is very frustrating. I tried ripping them off with my teeth, didn't work out. You gotta go ahead and use these pliers right over here, and if you see that seam going across the peg, make sure you grab it horizontally, not vertically, or else you're going to rip off half of it instead of that whole thing. So that is frustrating. That's my biggest gripe. I wish they made that easier. You do get this little tool for popping off those pegs, but it doesn't really work on the wrists, but it does work on the rest of them. We get a couple of extra pegs right over here. We get this tool to remove the eyes. He does come with 2 other sets of eyes, so a total of 6 eyes. You can see that we get these spikes that have a little hinge at the bottom, or a little Revoltech joint at the bottom. Most of these accessories have Revoltech joints at the bottom, as well as these little extendo pieces right here, so you can go ahead and attach this. This is kind of like how I had it earlier, so that's pretty cool that you can do that. I love these spikes. I gotta get a close-up of the details on these because this just blows me away. It's exactly the kind of detail that I want to see in some Carnage effects parts. I just love this attention to detail with the sculpt. And these are sharp but not too sharp. The material is pliable enough to where I really don't feel like you could stab anybody with it, successfully anyway. We also get 2 of these guys. I really like these spikes right here. And then you get a port right there where you could add another tendril if you'd like. And then we get these longer ones, which I really dig. And then you also get these attachment pieces that you can go ahead and add to the wrist. So after you get that peg out of there, you could port this in there, and then you could put 2 axe pieces on here. And by the way, you know, there's an axe piece. So I love doing that, you know, putting one on this side. I want to go right down here on this one, just to demonstrate really quick. And put this one right in here. And you can see how that looks, you know, just a quick demonstration. And you can add tendrils. We also get 4 of these guys right here, which is really cool. I like these. So we get a total of 4 of these. We also get 4 of these smaller ones right here, which is pretty sweet. And we also get 4 of these tinier ones. So yeah, that's awesome. We get all kinds of different little tendrils for Carnage. He does come with a pair of fisted hands, and he does have ports right there inside the fingers, which are cool. And then you also get these wide open hands. And these are actually kind of like the gesturing hands. You know, I really like these a lot. These are probably my favorite hands. And then these are actually the wide open hands, and they have a port right there in the center of the palm in case you wanted to add a tendril or some kind of effect to that. So yeah, amazing assortment of accessories. I'm just very, very pleased with this. So as you saw earlier, we get 3 pairs of eyes with this figure. This is the A pair. They're all labeled properly, which is great. And this is my favorite set of eyes. And then we also have the B pair of eyes. And then lastly, we have this C pair where the left eye is kind of squinted, looking all kind of weird. And that's my least favorite of the sets of eyes. And going back to the A set right here, yeah, I just like this a whole lot more. And looking at the head sculpt, I dig this head sculpt. Now this Carnage isn't based off of any specific comic artist or any kind of specific storyline. It's kind of stylized to Amazing Yamaguchi's liking, as all the other Marvel figures that they've made, and I like that. I think that's pretty cool. We get this little extra kind of symbiote goop coming out the back of his head right here. And I do like how all the eyes do have this nice pearlescent white sheen to them, so that's pretty nifty. I also like how the teeth look right here. It's got these jaggedy teeth, and then you get the tongue right there, and pretty cool. And he does have this hinge. One thing to mention is that I feel like they left a little bit too much plastic on the inside. I'm going to demonstrate switching the eyes out real quick. What you want to do is pop off the top of the head right there. You can see that there's just this little bit of plastic right here, and that's keeping the jaw from actually moving all the way up. On the right side of the jaw, you can see that this little triangle shaped piece does go into that groove a little bit easier. But anyway, going on to swapping the eyes out, you just gotta stick this little tool right in here, and then you could just go ahead and pry that off right there, and you could pop it off and switch it out with another eye, but I'm just going to put that AI right back on there. Oh, and you can see the letters and stuff on the inside right there. So that's pretty cool. Got that back on there. And looking at the rest of the figure, it looks great, man. All kinds of sculpted detail, the symbiote texturing. I love it. I think they did a fantastic job, and of course you're going to see the ports all over the place. But yeah, man, the musculature, it just looks really awesome. I love how Carnage almost looks like a skinless human being, you know? Those diagrams where you see all the muscle tissue throughout the human body. That's kind of what he looks like. I'm fairly certain that's what the design is based off of a little bit, right? But it just really goes with the nature of the character, too. You can see the Revoltech ball joints kind of sticking out, you know, just right out there. But after a while, you get used to hiding them with the poses and stuff. Really, really dig it. Looking at the back right here, I wanted to mention I did forget to port something into this port right here, so I did not have every single port filled in, as I'd mentioned at the beginning of the video. So yeah, there's one missing right there, but you can see there are ports all over the place on the back of the elbows. No port over here. Funny enough, I thought there would be, but he has them on the back of the thighs right there. Yeah, the legs look great, even on the back of the heels. I think that's funny, but not for the culo. Come on, you guys. Jeez, cheap bastards. But yeah, looking up the top right over here, I mean, I never get tired of looking at this figure. I just think it looks amazing. I love it. Yeah, man. The small feet right over here hold the figure pretty well. Now, it's usually really hard to get these Amazing Yamaguchis vanilla posed, but with this guy, it's a little bit easier. Anyway, getting onto the head articulation, you can move that top jaw all the way up and the head all the way up, so you could fly with his mouth open. Yeah! But you can't move the jaw all the way up too, so that's frustrating. It can move downward even more so that's really weird. I really, really wish that they cut into the plastic over here so that you can get him to close his mouth. And you can see this little bottom piece right here unhinge a little bit, so it's almost like he has two jaw joints, which is really, really bizarre. You can get the head looking downward a bit, and let's see him. Yeah, he'll look downward that far, and that's as much as a closed jaw as you're going to get on this guy. You also get head pivoting and neck pivoting, so that's really cool. Of course, you get the side-to-side movement over here as well at the neck and the head. And then you can switch this ball joint right here in the neck, you know, to get a deeper pivot on that head joint. He has the two ball joints right over here, so you get the dual Revoltech thing going on, and yeah, these will pop off on you. Just port it right back in, so you can get the arms moving all the way outward. They can move back, they can move forward. I like how they can move across without even using this whole shoulder blade joint, which is great. Speaking of which, you do get the shoulder blade joint, or the butterfly joint, that swings forward and back. It doesn't really move outward, it just moves forward and back right here. That's pretty cool. You get a single jointed elbow, and then you get rotation at the forearm or at the top part of the arm right over there. And you can see it just bends in all the way that far. And then you get the wrist pegs that that swivel side to side and hinge side to side or up and down depending on which way you have those aligned. And then you also get a diaphragm crunch over here. It can crunch forward just that much. I wish this could crunch back, but it does not. It does crunch back at the waist though. You get the tiniest bit of diaphragm pivot, and I really can't seem to get this rotating more than just a little bit of shifting right over here. So they did limit this upper torso articulation, which doesn't really bother me too much aside from it not being able to bend back that much, because we do get some good waist articulation that turns side to side, and we get some good overall pivoting right here at the waist as well. And the waist will crunch forward, so he has an overall forward crunch like that and an overall back crunch just that much. So yeah, I wish I could crunch back more so, especially because, you know, Carnage gets into those grandiose poses, you know, and his hip joints are a bit limited as well. At first I was really disappointed in these because I couldn't get the hips moving outward more than that. Just turns out that you just need to get him kicking all the way forward, and then you could rotate this thigh joint right here, and boom, now you have a wider stance for your Carnage figure. So I prefer not to have to do that, but hey, the fact that I can still get him into these kinds of wide stances makes me happy. So yeah, I'm not really bummed out about that. You can get him kicking forward, of course. I show him back that much. Upper thigh swivel right there. You get the double jointed knees, you know, that goes all the way in. You get the rotation right here at the calf. It doesn't really have a hinge, it just kind of rotates. The ankle can move down just a little bit, up a little bit, rotate side to side. You do get ankle pivot over here, and we do get toe articulation. Now to measure out this Carnage figure, you can see that he is standing just under 7 inches tall. And then for your amazing Yamaguchi comparison, we have the amazing Yamaguchi Venom and amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Man. And you can see, you know, especially between the Spider-Man and Carnage figures right here, how much easier it is to get this guy vanilla posed. This actually took me a while to do that because I had him in a dynamic pose earlier. And then here's the amazing Yamaguchi Carnage figure. Compared to what I would consider to be the best two Carnage figures that are out there, we have the Marvel Select Carnage and the Marvel Legends Carnage. And we're soon going to get a re-release of this guy right here with accessories, which is pretty cool. I still love this figure. I still love this figure a lot. This guy, I still love that one too. So yeah, all great Carnage figures. I don't know, out of these three, which one is your favorite? And then here's the amazing Yamaguchi Carnage figure. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh, Carnage, oh, Carnage. So many people misunderstand you. I think all you need is a hug. Come on, bring it in here for a hug, man. No Spidey sense going off. Everything should be perfectly fine. And then here's Carnage with some accessories loaded up and a bunch of tendrils attached to him. Not all the tendrils attached to him. And I gotta thank you guys again for watching my video. It really does help this YouTube channel out a lot, especially when you guys watch the videos from the beginning to the end, as well as when you guys hit that like button, leave your comments, and please subscribe if you haven't already, as well as hit that notification bell to ensure that my videos pop up in your feed. I gotta say, man, I am just amazed by this figure, and I'm not trying to be funny over here because it's an amazing Yamaguchi and all that. I mean, I just love this figure. I did take photos, but I didn't take that many pictures because it takes kind of a while to set this guy up the way you like. You know, this isn't a figure for everybody. You have to really be into posing action figures to really enjoy this piece. So it really does take some time to get the pose that you like, but it's very well worth it. I have been having a lot of fun with it, and I assume if you're into posing figures, you're going to have a lot of fun with it too. Thus, I'm giving this Carnage figure a Sud rating of... And I'm curious to know what you think about it. You know, I have my complaints about the figures still. The whole thing with the pegs coming off, that's still irritating. I feel like I could only do that so many times until I wear down the plastic on those little pegs, and I really wish the figure came with extra tiny pegs. We only get extras of those larger pegs, or those Revoltech joints anyway. So that is a complaint of mine, but yeah, I still love the figure. I've still been having a great time with it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you want to stay in touch with me. If you want to see a photo gallery of images, it should be over at marvelousnews.com. And don't forget to check out ShartimusPrime.net for the Shartimus Prime merch. I have new pins coming out soon, so please stay tuned for that. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
Crispy.
Hey, new Shartimus Prime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face,
Shark your face.